Hello and welcome to that Fire FM TV. I'm your host, Shalon, and we want to thank our supporters, our listeners, and our viewers. We thank you so much for getting in the fire with us. Without further ado, we have on today's show no other than Mr. REEF HUSTLE. Welcome to the show.
Wow! What's up? What's going on, y'all? What's happening?
Oh, I'm glad for you to be on the show today. I have a few questions for you. We're going to get into it.
Yes.
Tell our listeners, where are you from?
I'm from the Bronx, New York. Specifically Kingsbridge, where the Kings live, man. Home of the legendary DJ Kid Capri. You know what I'm saying? I'm from that area. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what's up. So tell us, when did you first know that you wanted to get into music? And
I'm sorry. That was easy. I'm from the Bronx, man. I mean, what much can you say? You know what I'm saying? Just being from here and just being at, just being the birthplace, and so many people was doing it at the time. So many people was doing it. So you just nothing but influenced. That's just like, being in the street, you're influenced by a lot of street cats, you know what I mean? So I was always in the street. So I was always influenced by the music. I always loved the music. But just being influenced by my older brother, rest in peace, Ron Benefit, and my big brother, DJ Ron K, he's still around. Salute to him. And if it wasn't for those guys, man, I really wouldn't have gotten into the hip hop if it wasn't for them, you know what I mean? And just me being around them all the time and being around older people all the time, I was always influenced by them. So yeah.
Oh wow, that's what's up. So your sound is really your own. So tell me the moment in your life where it made you realize that you didn't want to sound like anyone else.
Being around them older people, man, being around the older heads, and it was always stressed originality. They always stressed to be, wanting to be like not anyone else, just being like yourself, just being you, from all the way down to the music, all the way down to the writing, all the way down to, the substance of or whatever you do, and you putting it in the music, just down to the way, all the way down to the socks, you know what I mean? Just always be different. That's why hip hop grew so much. You know what I'm saying? Because we was always, it was always like, if you copy me and you got a problem. You know what I'm saying? We got a battle, or we're going to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? So it was always, just learning from them.
Oh, wow. So who, outside of music, who and what way were you influenced? Was it by your family, your friends? What life experiences?
I was always influenced by, once again, like, just the older people and just watching how they move. The people that I hung around, my peers, we always looked at the older crowd and seeing the way they was moving, from the principles to the morals. It really shaped me. I never had a dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never had a father. So, it's like they kind of shaped the way I thought. They kind of shaped the way I thought, because I definitely, credit to me not having a present dad. Not having a dad that was present. I really credit it to them. Me just watching them and looking at, like you said, just being unique and all of these things, which kind of shaped my mind and saying, you know what? I can't be like this person, or I can't be like that, or if I'm going to do it, I got to do it to the max. If I'm not going to do it, then I'm just not going to do it. You know what I mean? If I can't have what I really want, then I'm just going to wait to get it. It's just stuff like that. It's just always sharpening your craft, on all levels, not just music.
Exactly.
Just really sharpen the person that you are, just on so many levels. So, yeah, that really, I once again, I always got to credit it to my, forefathers, always got to credit to them.
That's awesome. When you're in the studio and you're listening to that beat, or is it an idea that comes up first? Whenever you're getting ready to write a song, is it the beat that starts it with you, or the emotions, or what's going on in your life at the time?
All three. So it can be, you can be inspired by something, you can be mad about something, because music has always been my therapy. You know what I mean? So when I hear that beat, sometimes it talks to me. You know what I mean? It talks to me and it tells me what to say. You know what I'm saying? I was just telling a friend last night, I was just like, me sometimes, even when I'm not inspired, right, I'll just be sitting down and just looking at this blank canvas, right? I'm just looking at the blank canvas and I'm just like, man, talk to me. Where we going with this? What's up with our relationship today? It's pretty much like that with me. Yeah, it's pretty much like that with me. What's up with our relationship today? So I'm inspired by, it just could be the way, if I see a certain lady and she just looking pretty and she's giving off this energy, and I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I say, I gotta write about this, or it could be something that she has on, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be a older gentleman that's just waiting at the bus stop. You know what I mean? And he's sitting in his wheelchair. He's sitting in his wheelchair waiting for the bus. You know what I mean? I'm inspired by so many things. Me being a writer, I notice a lot. I notice so many things. I notice a lot. I notice I kind of look forward. Instead of not. I kind of be having like a out of body experience sometimes, and it inspires me to write. So it's just so many things. Just me being a writer, but also me being a thinker and putting it in an art form is it's pretty interesting to me too. As I'm speaking about it, it's pretty interesting. But I'm inspired by so many things. It's what helps me write.
That's awesome.
Just put it down.
So, who would you like to collaborate with? Is there any artists you would like to collaborate with?
It's funny. First of all, shout out to my brother 38 Special, man. I've been, that's my boy right there. He has a movement called Trust, and he would always say, he's like, I don't care about nobody else. I just want to rhyme with my skin. Excuse my language. If I just want to rhyme with my skin. You know what I'm saying? And that really stuck with me. He's like, yo, I don't care about nobody else. You know what I mean? Nobody else, it really doesn't matter to me. And if a lot of people look at other interviews that I've been having, I would say, of course, Jay, Nas, and all of them, but it's not, they did their thing. That's an accomplishment. If I do that, I feel like that's an accomplishment because, these are dope MCs. But on some real, on the real, like, as I always, as time goes by and I see things and I see more for what it is, I'm more inspired by my shit who really get busy, who really rap, who really deserve to be on that platform. I'm inspired by them. So I would say today, the way I'm feeling, I just want to rhyme with my shit.
Okay. That's what's up. So what do you normally do in your spare time when you're not doing music?
I got babies. I'm a family man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I got babies. I love to just watch my babies grow. I love to just see them, just look at them, just looking at their mannerisms. Like I told you, I think forward. So I look at their mannerisms and I'm like, damn, man, this kid remind me of me, stuff like that. So, I get the satisfaction of doing that. I'm also a truck driver as well, you know what I'm saying? Because love don't pay the bills. You know what I mean? Love don't pay the bills. So, it's music. Music is my passion. It's my love. It's what I do. I would call that my first job, but my name is REEF Hustle. You know what I'm saying? So, I drive trucks, man. You know what I'm saying? So I have so many things that I do just because of my passion of music.
So what do you hope your children learns from your journey in music?
Oh, never give up. Never give up. Definitely never give up. And it's funny because I'm just that. You know what I'm saying? So when they see other people say, "Oh yeah, that's your pops," but yeah, don't. He's not just your pops. He's it. He's that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's that guy. You know what I'm saying? So
that's awesome.
So when they start to see that, they start to look at that and they start to see that and they like, man, he's not just pops. He get busy for real. You know what I mean? So it's like this is not just a game. So so I always tell them, just like whatever you're doing, man. You want to go do it, just go do it. Don't give up. Don't give up on it. Don't give up on it, because I'm the prime example. For a lot of people who don't know, there's a lot of, there's some entertainers that y'all would, you would know, Big Pun and my man Fred the Godson. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just those guys. Just those guys. I've actually shared a lot of spiritual moments and close moments with them. And there are other reasons for me not to give up. But my mom's and my brother is really, really, really key and really focal on, and they was like my biggest fans. So just because they're not here today, I always think about them and keep them in mind. And they always was pushing me to do what I wanted to do, not what I had to do, what I wanted to do. I already knew what I had to do, And they just like, hey, you want to keep on doing this, then you keep on doing it. You don't stop. So I would, it's always telling my kids like, hey, yo, man, don't stop.
That is awesome. This is getting good, but we have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with that Fire FM TV and Reef Hustle.
Yeah. On my light skin hustle. Free the wave. Get with it. Hey,
everything will be alright. She want the stress to get off of her. I only want the best thing for her. She know I got a whole lot to offer her. Everything will be alright. She want the stress to get off of her. Yeah. I only want the best thing for her. She know I got a whole lot to offer her.
I'm talking to you. You see, I am here for your rescue. You want a house or a home, I'm here for your refuge. I drive this truck and I rap, a big spitter, working towards 6 figures. Nah, I ain't no rich hitter, nah. Well, I'm getting that out the way. If you ain't feeling me, that's cool, you can go on about your day. But if you stay, I can obviously make it better. I saved enough bread, I can modestly change the weather. I'm never stingy with the paper, and I'm making plans in different places I can take you. I'm out to the city for a spell. You got things on your mind and you're stressing, I can tell this medicine to do you well. Well then what you say for the weekend? You ain't available, what you say for the evening? Well listen here, I'm talking light, and if you're loyal then I'm spinning, never ending, talking life. Stare me.
She want the stress to get off of her. I only want the best thing for her. She know I got a whole lot to offer her. Everything will be alright.
You know where I'm at with it, baby.
She want the stress to get off of her.
Come on, in the town.
The best thing for her.
She know what's best for you, baby. What? You don't wanna be with your man? You know the time. You got a watch on your wrist, phone in your hand. You know I got more lows than the van, and if you fall, I carry you. You see, that's my toes in the sand. Oh, you don't get it, do you? I'm the best with finesse. How should I put it to you? Anytime or any day, we can play. It's no game, I'm involved. I'm here to stay. Why would I dead her for? She got a set of soup coolers, know what she's heading for. I know that's witty, you look pretty in pink. You look so good and for real, I can't even think. Hit the gym, we can let our energy sink. I'm trying to go back to my 6-pack so you could drink. He ain't got it, well shorty, that's not you. I relieve that problem, little girlie, I got you.
She want the stress to get off of her. I only want the best thing for her. She know I got a whole lot to offer her. Everything will be alright. She want the stress to get off of her. I only want the best thing for her. She know I got a whole lot to offer her.
Hey, Mr. Smith, boss money, it's TLE, crank up. Hey, 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 let's go. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. I represent the mess, she was raised in the 80s.
Hola papi, ven aquí, Louis bags, j'y Givenchy. Spit 16s, them 16s, I like pretty things. Fit no bottles to my section, less is for the whole team. I'm a broke nigga's dream, a rich nigga's cream. Don't treat me like a queen, but that's gon' make me cause a scene. Hair slay, wet lace. You catch your fade, quick to put a bitch in a place. I call the shots, he make the plays. We bag it up with so much money in the way. I call the shots, he make the plays. And when we he let me sit it on his face. And when we he let me sit it on his face. He let me sit it on his face.
Hola mami, como estas? I like it soft and wet, you like it nice and hard. We ain't never fall apart. Let me play in your hair while you juggle. Light up a spliff, take a shot. We wildin', count up the cash from the lick. We stylin', perfect timing. That's our relationship. Boss moolah, Miss 32. Who f***ing with it? Purse first, that's the mission. Drop top, that's how we spinning. Heart-shaped donuts all in your parking lot. VVS in the chains while she holding the Glock. Yeah, get out of line, baby gon' pop. Woo. Bunny and Clyde, give me what you got. Yeah, and it just don't stop. We going and going until we make it to the top. Cause we doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. I represent the mess, she was raised in the A. Cause we doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. I represent the mess, she was raised in the A.
I call the shots, he make the plays. We bag it up with so much money in the way. I call the shots, he make the plays. And when we fuck, he let me sit it on his face. And when we fuck, he let me sit it on his face.
Cause we doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. I represent the mess, she was raised in the A. Cause we doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. I represent the mess, she was raised in the A.
And we're back with that Fire FM TV. I'm your host, Shalon, and we are back with REEF HUSTLE. Now, you know I gotta ask, how'd you come up with that name?
Well, so Big Pun used to always be like, hey, man, we're gonna call you REEF HUSTLE, man. You know what I'm saying? But my original name was REEF Rebel, you know what I'm saying? And some people will call me REEF Reb or REEF Rebel, you know what I'm saying? Because I've always done what I've done. I always did my thing. I never did what anybody else did. But when Pun passed away, I just took it in the memory of him. And as time went by, I just realized that, hey, everyday life is a hustle. You know what I'm saying? And that's not only just for me. You know what I mean? I'm no different from nobody else. Everybody, what we doing right now is our passion. We love to do it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we love to get paid from it. But, everyday life is a hustle. And once again, like I said, love don't pay the bill.
It doesn't.
We gotta, we gotta pay that good old bill, and then we do what we love to do. You know what I mean? But we do what we gotta do, so we can do what we love to do.
That's right. So, with Mother's Day coming up around the corner, I see that you have a song called "The Mother's Love." Can you explain where that comes from?
Mama Love, yeah. So it's a song called Mama Love.
Mama's Love.
It's really dedicated to my mom, who passed away a few years ago. My mom's, she was, as older she got, she was really sick. She had kidney problems. She was going to dialysis, and she also had Parkinson's. You know what I mean? There was a time where I actually moved from my home and I started living with my mom just to take care of her. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about, I said in one of my songs called Feelings, which is a video out right now on YouTube, I said, I'm changing her Pampers now. You know what I mean? And this is, this was real deal. You know what I mean? So, Mama Love is, she had passed away, but then, I just reflected and just thought about it, what my mom's did for me. So I did it in celebration of her life, you know what I'm saying? Of her new life, you know what I mean? And I just remember the things and I cherish the things with what she taught me. And I remember the things that she's done for me. So I felt that I had to put it there, but I also had to write it also for this. It just wasn't only about me, because I share my music with everybody. You know what I mean? I share my music with everybody. So, you know, I just say something like, you know, I got to show my mama love. You know what I mean? It goes to no limit to what mama does, you know? You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? So it's like really, really, you know, it's like say, and if we didn't speak, I get that mama call. And just in case, I better have a couple dollars for, you know what I mean? You can relate to that. Yeah. You know, because, you know, you go to mama house, and, you know, it's just like, hey, listen, hey, you know, where that money at? I need a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? And then she'll take it and give it to the babies. If she, you know, if she didn't, she'll save it or give it to the babies. Or if she's not, she'll pay a bill with it. You know what I'm saying? And I know you can relate to that. And that's something that I really went through, but that's a lot in a lot of our homes. You know what I'm saying? And you know, for much, I know I can speak for the black families, because I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where I come from. I come from a black family. You know, it's from my mama, man. And you know, I just, you know, speak about her, and I just speak in the celebration of her life, and it just reminds me, you know, and I just love my mother so much, man. You know, I just love my mother so much. You know, it's really, really a heartfelt record, and it really touches me, man. It really touches me when I speak about it. But rest in peace to Mama Gloria, man. I love her, you know, and happy Mother's Day to all the great mothers out there. You know, that's here, and it's in the essence.
That is awesome. So I do have to ask you, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I see myself working with, putting on a lot of other artists, who have good core followings, who people love them, and you know, they want to get their music out there. So I see myself, you know, cultivating that, and also, you know, pouring more into, you know, to my babies, man, pouring more into them, and you know, doing whatever they want to do, and just enjoy watching them, you know, and that's what I plan to do. I really plan to get out this truck, you know, in the next 5 years as well.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? I really plan to get out this truck, truthfully, in the next 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So you know, those are my plans, man. That's where I see myself in the next 5.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Any shows, any tours coming up for the 2026 year?
Well, you know, so before I even go to that, right, I want to, you know, give a shout out to my brother George Bell, Freedom Wave, you know what I'm saying, which is our movement. I want to shout out TBM, rest in peace, Fred the Godson, and Pun, and, you know, my brother Fatboy Izzo and Block Forever. I want to give a shout out to those brothers. Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to those brothers, because those brothers, you know, still remain, and we still rocking together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so we will be doing shows and stuff like that, you know, but as we continue to put on for our city, as we continue to put on for everybody else, even outside of the city, and people who do rock with me, you know, wholeheartedly, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have some things that's coming up very soon. I might have something in Atlanta that's coming up soon, but those will be what was that? To be determined? TBD? To be determined. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as far as the tour, we put on our own tours. We put on our own things, because we independent now. Since we independent, we don't got no machine behind us. You know what I'm saying? And we doing this on our own hard-earned money, our own hard-earned dollars. You know what I'm saying? And so when people hear it and they like, yo, I rock with you, come to the town. Yeah, we will be there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's how we do it, man, because it's to be determined, being an independent artist. And people know, people who are independent artists, they know. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, it's really real.
Yes. And you know what? You've built such a strong platform. What do you think is that your fans connect most with you?
Relativity. You know, substance. That's why I think they connect with me, and they really understand, and they know my story. You know, what MC do you know but two legends? You know what I'm saying? Big Pun, you know, being he's a legend. You know what I'm saying? And then Fred the Godson is an underground legend. And what's the odds of them passing away and doing music? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the odds of them passing away? Like, it was, people would say, like, man, yo, Reef, you was right there. Like, you right at the door. You was right there. And just, you know, they passed away. What's the odds of that? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's something else. So it's definitely my story as well. And then I just don't give up. You know what I'm saying? I just don't give up. You know, like I said, Freedom Waves the movement. Shout out to my brother George Bell. On my album called War 2, That's out right now on all major platforms. You go get that, right? So on that album, and it's called War 2 by Reef Hustle, right?
War 2.
War 2.
War 2. Gotcha.
Yeah. War 2. War stands for What About
War
Reef
2.
Hustle? Yeah. War stands for What About Reef Hustle, and the number 2 stands for me and my brother George Bell, right?
Okay.
And my brother George Bell is a brother who was incarcerated for 24 years and exonerated. He was totally innocent. You know what I'm saying? And that too represents that, right? And we both formed the brotherhood with not just music. You know what I mean? We formed the brotherhood because we never gave up on life. We never gave up when things got us down, when things hit us hard. We never got down on that. We still kept on going. You know what I mean? And so this is what War 2 stands for. The 2 represents Reef Hustle and my brother George Bell.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that you dedicated that to your brother. Where can fans find your merch? Do you have any merch?
So when you get in touch with me directly, you know what I'm saying, YouTube, Reef Hustle the number 1, you can hit me, DM me there. Also YouTube, Instagram, Reef Hustle _, you know, and you can catch me on Facebook, same thing, Reef Hustle. You know what I mean? So you can just hit me, DM, and you know, we doing personals. We doing personals right now. I have a website, it's reefhustle.com, but I'm revamping my website right now to put other things on there and to make it more friendlier for the, you know, for everyone who wants to go and support.
Okay. So what is a message you want to give to your fans?
Always, man, do what you love. Never give up. You know, never give up. Just never give up, man. Love don't pay the bills, and I understand that too. But you don't. But don't give up on your passion. Don't give up on your passion. And if you feel that you can't do it, you know, you pour into your babies, man. You know, if you see your babies who want to do it, you pour into your babies. If you see someone else you want to do it, give them the jewels. You know. Right. So that's what I would say.
I love that you said love don't pay no bills. That's right. A very true statement.
That's right. And I got a record called Love Don't Pay the Bills featuring me and my brother El Cordell. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I got a record called Love Don't Pay the Bills. There's this album, War 2, is a movie. You have to, you know, you can stream and download it, and you can even see my videos on YouTube, Reef Hustle _ Reef Hustle the number 1. You know what I'm saying? You can go on YouTube, Reef Hustle the number 1, and you can see the movie of this album that you could listen to online as well. It's called War 2. You know what I'm saying? And it tells you who I am from the last 5 years.
That is awesome. Well, that's our show, and I want to thank you, Reef Hustle, for being on our show tonight. Thank you, your supporters, for tuning in with that Fire FM TV. I'm your host, Shalon, and we're out. Peace.